Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well, teach this truth in all honesty and sincerity. And salutations to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and great diligence as well. And salutations to you Aquas that's listening, learning in silence, playing your position, your creation role. This brother Azar from GMS St. Louis. I was watching this interview, which I do from time to time, just to see what Israel is up to. And it's an interview from Boosie or whatever, and he was talking about his house, but he at the end of the interview, he was talking about how he think this corona is God's way of punishing us because it's too much sin in the world. Ain't nobody really living the way that God meant it, the way that we supposed to be living. And that's true for Israel for the most part. The 2/3 is out here cutting up, being 2/3, and this nigga is one of the top 2/3, but, based off the things he say in his position towards the Most High. But anywho, I'm gonna play a little bit, and I'm gonna grab scriptures, grab precepts, So without any further ado,
Yep. I believe anything can happen in this world, though. I don't believe, I really feel like God punishing us, bro. For this world not living by the Bible and all these people doing this, pushing this, doing this. I feel like God is punishing the world, man. And he got more coming, bro. God is punishing us, man. For real, man.
And he right. He right. The scriptures tell us that the plagues and pestilence that the Most High is gonna send, to the wicked kingdoms that are on the face of the earth. But in particular, when you talk about Israel, the Lord always had to jack Israel up and put them in subjection to another nation, because they always want to go off and do what the heathen do, man. And we are holy people, set apart, supposed to be doing separate things from what the heathen's doing, But I'll grab some precepts. First, I'm gonna get into the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, because us being here in America, period, is a punishment. It's a captivity, for our iniquity as a nation as a whole. The things that we did, our forefathers did, it is you get judged for it. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'll start at verse I start at verse 41. Thou shalt be. This is the Lord giving a rundown of the blessings and the curses if we choose to follow His commandments, statutes, and laws. We would be blessed, and above the rest of the nations, and in rulership. But if we did not hearken to those commandments, statutes, and the laws, the Lord was going to do very bad things to us. This is the contract that the Most High is explaining. What will happen? If you do this, this is going to happen. If you do that, this is going to happen. So, jumping to verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And that's what we see. We see our people in the lowest state, man. Our people in the lowest of the low. You know, you got our folk drugged out, our folk in all kind of wickedness, just living very bad, man. But it wasn't always that way. We were rulers, kings, warriors, priests, inventors. The list goes on. We was up very high, but the Lord brought us down very low, and put the base of men above us, all to make us feel bad, man. This is a punishment. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's exactly where we are, man. The prophecy of us not listening to the Lord is happening, and it has happened. This is not our first captivity. We've been in captivity multiple times by different nations, all because our people don't listen. Us as a whole do not listen, man. The scriptures say the Lord's people is a hard head and stiff necked, stubborn, don't want to listen. So the Lord jacks us up. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. And our people are destroyed, man. Mentally destroyed, physically destroyed, spiritually destroyed. You got our people into all kind of bullshit, excuse my French, all kind of madness. And the heathen just look at us and laugh and capitalize off of us going off, man. And I'll get a precept in I believe it's in First Maccabees, but Lord willing, I'll get into that. Because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So it's no guessing who the Israelites are, because they are going through the curses that the Lord told us we would go into, we would be subject to in the book of Deuteronomy. Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's exactly what happened. When you go to YouTube or Google, type in yoke of iron, who shows up? Judah, the tribe of Judah, with iron yokes on their neck. Slavery in America, captivity. Because of our iniquity. And so this place is just a big punishment. But the thing about this place is you seem more free the more wickedness you into. You know, like a lot of our people feel like this is the greatest country to be in. You know, the land of the free, home of the brave. But it only seems like you so having so much fun because you committing wickedness, man. Try to do the right thing in this society. Try to live righteously in this society, and see if it's the greatest place to be. Um, I'm gonna jump to the book of Amos. You know, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This Corona stuff. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The Lord has a lot of stuff in store for this place. 2/3 of Israel and the heathen. Uh, this is the book of Amos, chapter 2, and verse 4. And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Judah," so, the so-called Negro, "and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of the Lord, and have not kept his commandments, and their lies caused them to err, after the which their fathers have walked. But I will send a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem. Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold the righteousness for silver, and the poor for a pair of shoes, that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek. And a man and his father will go in unto the and turn aside the way of the meek, and a man and his father will go in unto the same maid to profane my holy name." And it's um and that's a law that the Most High gave us um, in Leviticus, I believe the 20th chapter, about the people that it's lawful to, well, the people it's unlawful to have sex with, you know, and a, 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 a man and his father sharing the same maid, that's an abomination. You know, same as a man popping a daughter and a mama. That's an abomination to the Lord. But the Lord is saying that our people have just totally forgotten the laws of the Most High. They don't even consider, you know. And the Lord said, "I will not turn away the punishment thereof." You know, so the Lord always has to punish Israel, and the Scripture says He chasteneth who He loves. You know, and overall He loves Israel above all the nations. So that's why we have it the hardest now, because just like any loving father, you got to get that tough love out, especially when your children hard headed. Uh, I'll jump over to chapter 3, And I start at verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities, and plain as day. Plain as day. The Lord is punishing Israel. The Lord gonna get the rest of the heathen, in due time. But Israel get jacked up the most because the Lord love us, man. We are the only people that are bound by the law, statutes, and commandments of these scriptures, man. And our people don't want to hear that. They don't want to believe that they that special, and they don't want that responsibility. Honestly, knowing it brings a responsibility of doing, and our people really not. They really ain't into that. They want to be they want to be jacked up and want those that are not jacked up to not say anything, or to look the other way, or to not make them feel bad for being jacked up. But yeah, this plague, the corona, the pestilences, the sicknesses, the disease, the famine, which by the way it's coming. They are putting it out. It's gonna be a meat shortage. They're making the farmers euthanize their animals. Gotta just let the crop go to waste because they want this to happen, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, using Esau to squeeze Jake, Israel, for a punishment. It affects a wide range of people and nations, but at the same time, it's really rough on the poor, the low on the totem pole, which is Israel, wherever they may be. I'm gonna jump to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 1. Oh, chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 3. And it reads, The son of Aaron of the tribe of Levi, which was captive in the land of the Medes, in the region, or in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of the Persians. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them. For they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods. And am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage? And that's what Egypt means, bondage. But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsel. They don't listen to the men of the Lord, that the seers that prophesy, and they don't listen to the word of the Lord. They want to do what they want to do. They don't like rebuke. So the Lord said they move him to wrath. Verse 8, pull thou off them then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them. For they have not been obedient to my law, but it is a rebellious people. How long shall I forbear them unto whom I have done so much good? So imagine you do all this for your children. You come to their defense when people trying to harm them. You bestow all the knowledge and wisdom and just the spirit that Israel have as a whole, man. It's a lively people. What they say in these days, lit. You know, lit. Like our people got a spirit that just is so live. A peculiar people, man. And they want to be doing the whole opposite, and they want to sacrifice to dumb idols that don't do nothing for them. You will be pissed. That's how the Most High feels. Now people want to be into all this atheism and all this weirdo shit. Like if hey, but the scriptures say they minds are seared. They minds seared with this wickedness. Verse 10, many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader, and Aaron for a priest. I gave you a light and a pillar of fire, and a great wonder have I done among you. Yet have you forgotten me, said the Lord. Thus said the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, you murmured there. In the book of Exodus, I believe, they was murmuring. The Lord led them out of Egypt, out of bondage, into the wilderness. They started talking smack. They started murmuring. Started, talking against Moses. But the Lord, brought manna out of heaven, out of heaven, quails for them to eat, and they still didn't want to abide by His rules, abide by the covenant, man, by the contract that they agreed to. Verse 16, and triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day do ye yet murmur. What are the benefits that I have done for you? When you were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did you not cry unto me, saying, Why hast thou brought us into the wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. Then laid I pity upon your mournings, and gave you manna to eat. So ye did eat angels' bread. When ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock, and the waters flowed out to your field? For the heat I covered you with the leaves of the trees. I divided amongst you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do more for you, said the Lord? And those nations were Hamites, the so-called Africans. The Lord did all this for our people, man, and they still don't serve Him with joyfulness and gladness of heart, man. And that's why the Lord keeps punishing us and gonna send more punishments, and it's just ushering in the end of one kingdom, one wicked kingdom, and the beginning of a new righteous kingdom, man. Um, um, Wanted to get to a couple more precepts. It'll be a part two. Hope this was an edifying lesson. I want to say Shalom and a Bible Ball. Kwam Yasharala.